Shut up. I ain't trying to.
Oh, sorry. Okay. You good?
But him, and then he said, always say the best. That's why I said, here come Beyond, so you're the best. Uh-oh, now that's the best.
You know I'm a jealous kind of fella now.
I'm just saying, you're just saying all day long.
I would like to welcome our family and our friends in memory of Lula, Sister Lanier.
Amen.
Welcome. We are so glad you guys is here because family is very, very important to us. We was born into families and we choose this family for ourselves. The purpose of a family is to grow. And the nature of a family is to change. So we're going to spend this afternoon spreading love, laughter, and solidarity. So join right in and participate. Welcome. Thank you.
There have been a lot of things said about my mother. But the thing that I want to say about my mother was a Christian woman. She loved God and she prayed all the time for her family. And she was in a prayer band and they would go over every Wednesday night and they would pray for people and help them and clean their house and all that. So that was one of the great attributes of my mother, her love for God. And just like my sister was saying, she used to pray all the time, and then she would, before she finished, she would say, Lord, don't forget about me. She put everybody first, and then she prayed for herself. So that are some of the attributes that I know about my mother.
Go ahead.
One other thing I remember about grandmama was about saving money. Grandmama would have me to drive all the way across town to save 10 or 15 cents on some tire washing powder. Now I done drove about $3 worth of gas to save her 15 cents on some tires. That was grandma.
Do y'all remember that grandma was really good at math?
Yeah.
Do y'all remember that?
I do.
Because I had no idea, you know, having limited school education, that does not mean you are not educated. That does not mean that you are not intelligent. That does not mean that you are not smart. That was one of the smartest women I ever knew. And she could carry a 3 and put it up, like really pretty much taught me math.
Costco, they can have those stamps. She would buy pop, and then you take her to get it, and then she would sell it to you. You had to buy pop. Mama, can I have a pop? No, it costs $0.25. You know, and you took her to get it. Now, Mama,
She was always raising money for the church. Anyway, yeah.
Grandma raised me from 5 months old until I moved out. So grandma was like my mother/grandmother. And I remember, I'm giving you 2 quick stories. I remember one story with Grandma and Ernest. Every time Grandma would fix a certain pot, a certain dish, she would need a certain pot. So she would always ask Auntie Mary to let her use this particular pot. Auntie Mary would gladly bring the pot over to Grandma. So one day,
Auntie Mary was in Pittsburgh taking care of her sister. And Grandma, Mary is Ernest's wife. She was Ernest's wife. So Grandma told me, she said, Cynthia, call Ernest and tell him to bring me that pot. I said, okay. I said, Uncle Ernest, Grandma said, bring her that pot. He said, tell her that I'm busy. Because he was painting. And I said, Grandma, Uncle Ernest say he busy. Grandma, she kept on doing what she was doing. And then she said, about 20 minutes later, tell him that I said, bring me that pot. I called Uncle Ernest. I said, Uncle Ernest, Grandma said, bring her that pot. And he said, tell her I said, I'm busy and I'll bring it. And everybody that know Uncle Ernest knew Ernest had bass in his voice when he talked. So now, Grandma going on with her baking. Then she realized she don't have the pot. She said, tell him I said, bring me that pot. I called Uncle Ernest. I said, Uncle Ernest, Grandma said, bring her that pot. And this time she said, bring it right now. And she said, bring it right now. So Uncle Ernest slammed down the phone. Next thing you know, me, Grandma, Uncle Cecil, we in the kitchen. Grandma doing her cooking. I'm helping out. Cecil walking through the house. Cecil used to eat like a bird. He would take bread and sneak whatever Grandma cooking. Like if she got some beans, he'll put the beans in the bread and eat it like a sandwich. And Uncle Ernest, I heard that gate say clink clink. And I looked at Cecil and said, here go Uncle Ernest. Uncle Ernest came in the house and he walked in and he took that pot and he slammed it down on the table. And he looked at Mama, he said, you buy you a car or a pot? And he walked out the house. And me and Cecil looked at each other and cracked up. And Cecil said, I guess he told you, didn't he? And by that time, Grandma got mad at Cecil and she was rolling her dough. And Grandma said, get out of my house, get out of my house. So she ran Cecil out of her house. At my reception, my grandmother fixed every stitch of food that was eaten. So we had an opportunity to have a lot of conversations about life, wisdom, and being a lady. And just 3 things which have been my saving grace that my grandmother taught me. She told me, especially when I moved to Dallas, Texas, and didn't know anybody, she said, give out before you give up. And she taught me, she said, the best way to stay out of trouble is don't get into it. And the part about being a lady, she would always say, once you showed your ass, she said, you have nothing else left to show. And she said, so you say that part for your husband.
And Sharice, you're on.
Okay, so I'm one of the great-grandchildren. And what I remember about Grandma is whenever we spent the night at her house, on a Saturday night, Sunday morning, you going to church. There's no questions asked. It's not about I don't have anything to wear. You're going to church. And so this Sunday, I'm about 5, 6 years old. We in church, and I fall asleep in church.
Okay.
And Grandma looked back, and she seen me sleep.
Uh-oh.
She woke me up. And she said, come here, young lady. Come here. Come to Lula.
Mama had 2 boys.
So I got up there, and when Grandma disciplining me, she gonna pinch you.
Oh.
She gonna turn that skin,
Oh, my.
and she gonna hold it. You better not say a word. You better not look like she pinching you. You better smile. None of that, because it get worse. Because you're not gonna embarrass her. And ever since then, I have never fallen asleep in church again. That taught me. And I don't know if y'all remember that. I think she had like 2 belts or something hanging on the wall.
2 what?
2 belts
With her grand,
with
that
her,
was
one with the kids'
grandkids' name.
I remember that.
and one with
Where
the
is that?
grandkids'
Did you
name
take
on
it?
there.
Who
No,
has
I
that?
I don't
Who
know.
has it? I want it.
The belt. The 2 belts.
I don't have it. I don't have
She
it.
had one with the children's name.
And it's
one
their,
with the grandchildren's
yeah,
name.
and the one with the children, I'm sorry, I'm not, but
No,
this
go
is
ahead.
so important. The one with the children, I know one of y'all got it. Y'all just ain't saying. The one with the children's name has their full name.
Yes, yes.
Cecil K.
Yes.
Ethel Pearl.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
thank you, yes.
Yes.
Johnny May. Deltra.
Yes,
Shirley
Shirley
Ann.
Ann,
Yeah, okay,
yes.
sorry, go ahead.
And Chantel's name was the first one on the grandkids list.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, on the great grandkids list. rather. Chantel's name was the first one. And, you know, when we get in trouble, she'll say, "Do you want the belt? Do you want it?" And, you know.
Yes,
and
Grandma, I want the belt.
so she also, because I was allergic to dogs and my dad had bought me a dog, and I couldn't keep it. And she said, "Okay, I'll keep it for you." So I remember her, she really took care of my dog. His name was Bush Ride.
Bush Ride.
Yes, yes,
Bush ride.
yes. And Grandma took care of that dog for me all those years until they had to put him to sleep. So yeah, like great grandma Lula was amazing. Amazing cook, amazing woman, amazing mother, grandmother, great grandmother. It's so many memories, and I miss her so much.
Many years ago, Cynthia and I were in the house playing. Y'all all know Grandma boils her water. So Cynthia and I was playing, and we had the ball, and I'm throwing it and catching the ball, playing ball. The ball jumps in Grandma boiling water. I said, "Ooh." I said, "She won't know." Take the ball out, pour the water out, put some more water in from the faucet, and just pour it back in her thing. We did, and we poured in her jar. So Grandma, she came, she got ready to drink her water. Grandma posed the water, and Grandma go to drink it. Grandma said, "Who bought the Lula's water?" I said, "Grandma, we ain't touch it. That's the water you bought." She said, "No, I know my water. Don't lie to Lula. Don't lie to Lula." I said, "Cynthia, who did my water?" She said, "Well, see, Grandma, see, Tiny." I said, Grandma, that was Cynthia. I said, "That was Cynthia. Let me tell you something. Don't bother Lula stuff. Grandma used to strut." He said, "No, I mean that. Don't touch Lula." He said, "Tell me the truth." I said, "Yeah, Grandma, we were playing ball and they just acting, putting it. Y'all, that's all y'all have to say. I don't drink faucet water. I boils my water." So we said, "Okay, Grandma, we sorry." So that was that. Then Grandma, there was something else Grandma did. Grandma used to go and say things like this to us. She said, "You know what? Let me tell y'all something. When y'all do something and y'all go to the church, y'all represent me. Don't embarrass Lula here. Do not embarrass Lula." And those was Grandma's words, and
Yep.
she would say things and meaningful things, you know, that means a lot. And Grandma was a very smart, very educated lady. And Grandma, she didn't take no mess off of nobody. And she tell it just like it was. Because one day I was pregnant with Shanika, and I was nervous and scared of having her. And Kimberly got mad at me. Kimberly said, "You know what? I hope you down the operating table." I said, "Oh Lord Jesus." I said, "Sure, no, I'm scared to even have this baby." So I felt nervous. So I said, "I'm calling Grandma." I said, "Grandma, you know what Kimberly said to me?" She said, She hope I down the operating table." Grandma said, "Let me tell you something. Tell her Lula said, when you dig one ditch, you better dig two. Because the one you're digging for her, you're going to be the one that fall in it." And she meant that. And those were Grandma's exact words. And that was our everything.
Yeah.
My mom had some fans made to commemorate this day. I didn't know, but I think she has like 50 of them. Ma, raise your hand and raise the fan. Raise the fan. They're cute. They're cute. So make sure you get one if you want one. Huh? Oh, it says the Lanier family August 16th, 2025, like Mama used to say, don't put the cart before the horse. And you have to crawl before you walk. Yes, those are things Lula used to say. All right, so who wants, oh, come on up, Russell. All right.
Being the oldest grandson, firstborn grandson, I'm going to kick it off. Some of the memories that I have with me and my grandmama was grandmama used to love to bake cakes and pies, and we had this big long buffet in the dining room that she would sit them on. And me being 7, 8 years old, instead of me taking a knife, cutting me a slice of pie, I would just take my hand and just gouge in there. And grandma would, I know ain't nobody did that but you, Russell. They're coming to me. And I'd run and hide under the bed. And grandma would come in with her little belt, gonna whoop me, but I'm hiding under the bed. Grandma would try to move the bed. Now back then the beds had springs on them. Now I would hang on to the springs. Every time she moved the bed, I'm hanging on to the springs. So she would never get a chance to whoop me. And also, Grandma used to can a lot. Oh yeah. You know, pears and apples and stuff. And so, and Grandma had a lot of girlfriends with fruit trees. And she would always take me around with her to a girlfriend's house so I can climb the tree, shake the branches, so all the fruit and stuff could fall on the ground. And so we would pick them up, gather them together, and she'd take them home and do the can. But I have some wonderful memories of my grandmama. I really miss her dearly, and she was a tremendous grandmother.
Yes, she was.
One of a kind. So that's one of my stories.
Cool.
Now, this one is personal, but this one was me.
Uh-oh.
So, I had my own house. I was grown, 27. Sisters and brothers, we would party on the weekend. And when we would go out, we didn't come home until we had breakfast. We had to go to Bob Big Boy's for breakfast. So now, it's 7 o'clock, and this is what we used to do because everybody grown. So, I had to wind up moving back with Grandma. Now, I'm 27 years old now. I moved back with Grandma. Grandma told me, she said, let me tell you something. She said, you can stay here. She said, but you cannot disrespect my house. She said, you cannot come in my house past 12 o'clock. You can't do this, you can't do that. It went in this ear and came out that one. Because, I mean, I'm 27, I'm grown. Got a 7-year-old child. So Grandma can't tell me nothing. But I just said, okay, Grandma. So, Friday night, we went out. We at the club having a good time. Cabaret parties it was back then. Now, here we go. I come in the house, stick that key in that door about 6:45. When I walk in the house, a.m. So when I walk in the house,
Who did you think you were?
I was grown. So when I walks in the house, Grandma standing behind the door with a belt. So, 27. So when I close the door, there go Grandma. And she got that belt, she, and I'm all on the floor. I'm saying, okay, Grandma, okay, Grandma, okay. Now I'm on the floor and I'm crying because, not because it was hurting, my feelings was hurting. And I'm 27. I can stay out all night if I want to.
Not in her house.
So, Grandma standing over me with the belt now, doing like this. She said, now I want you to hit me. Hit me. I want you to hit me. Now my eyes are closed. And I'm saying, Lord, when I open my eyes, please let this be my friend, my sister, anybody but Grandma. Because I can't whoop Grandma. And I opened my eyes, and it was Grandma. So I gets up, and I'm walking to my room. Got tears in my eyes. And while I'm on my way to my room, Chantel, she was my 7-year-old daughter. She's 40-something now. She was peeking through the door, cracked like this. And she looking at me, cracking up. I said, oh, I can hit you. That's somebody to whoop. So I run in there to whoop her. Grandma took the buckle of that belt. She held the leather part and she took the buckle and did it like this. And that belt went down my back. She said, you hit her, I kill you. So I looked at Chantel, I rolled my eyes, and I went on in my room and I laid down. I wasn't in that bed 30 seconds. That door came open wide. Bam! She said, get up, Jezebel. She said, you done frolicked in the streets all night long and you think you're gonna lay in my bed? She said, no, you got work to do. So she gave me a long list. And I did what she had to do, but I couldn't wait till she left. And she took Chantel with her, and she knew better. So I called my mother. She's sitting right there. I called my mother. I said, Ma.
Raise your hand, bro.
I said, Ma, you need to talk to your mother. And she said, why? She said, Ma, I said, Ma, cause you know we go out and we don't come in until the next day. And we this and we that, and we go to breakfast and blah, blah, blah. Mama listened. She listened to everything I had to say. Then Mama said, are you finished? I said, yeah, but I want you to get her toe, because she whooped me. And Mama said, let me tell you something. She said, that's my mother. And if she did that to you, what do you think she'll do to me? So she wasn't no good for me. So I hung up on her. But I didn't stay out past 12, and I hurried up and found me a house. That's me and Grandma.
You're good. So, when I was little, I spent a lot of time at Grandma Lula's house. My favorite cousin was Jerome, or is Jerome. Jerome and I are the same age. Jerome's mom is Diane, my mom is Ann, or Shirley, is her, Ann, as the family knows her. And Jerome and I, when we got together, we would get so excited, we would act a fool. Let's just be honest. We would act a fool. We would run around the house, we would do all kinds of things. And I remember, and maybe y'all remember this too, but I never understood this statement until I was a grown man. Grandma used to say when she had to go to the store or something, all right, I'm about to go to the grocery store. And when I get back, I want this house to be over on Buckeye. Jerome and I didn't know what that meant. And sometimes the house was over on Buckeye, and we ended up with a switch. But that's my little story about it for now.
I gave you some fans, and on some of the fans it says you have to crawl before you walk, and don't put the cart before the horse. Well, in 2014, I always knew that I wanted these words in picture. And I was talking one day to my niece, who is Cynthia's daughter, Kiana, and I thought Kiana could draw because she had drawn a picture in school. But on the other side of me was Fenolia Lanier. And she sat there and she listened to everything I said. And after I finished talking to Kiana said, I can't draw. She said, Ann, I can draw. And whenever I go on a cruise with John, give me about 4 pictures and I will draw. Me to read a poem that he wrote. And he asked me to do this at 12 noon today. And we've been planning this all year. And the name of it is, I'm sorry? Well, Russell wanted me to stand by Gerald wanted me to stand by the picture. So if you can't hear me, let me know. It's called A Loving Example. Mama, for your unselfish love shown in every way, for the warmth of your smile and the things that you say, for your listening ear and your giving heart, your compassionate hugs and your tears when we part, for the strength of your prayers and the wisdom you share, your encouraging words showing me that you care. Mom, how I love you, and I want you to know by the seeds you have planted, we will continue to grow. That's written by my brother Richard. And you have copies for all of the immediate siblings to share with us. He did a great job.
Uncle Juicy, raise your hand.
Well,
Okay.
my name is Alma, one of the daughters, and I'm one of the 11 siblings. I just want to tell you all how we all got here. Y'all said everything that Mama said, but nobody said where it started from.
At the well,
No, it did not. Sit down. No, Mama, it started in 1910, June the 9th.
she said, speak up. Again,
Why can I'm speaking up. Will you be quiet? Don't put this on the table. January the 9th, 1910. Okay. My mother was born in Leaf County to Nora and Lula Lanier. And her mother passed away when she was 14 years old. And her older sister took care of her. It was 9 of them, 3 sisters and 6 brothers. Okay? So, and she married at the age of 20 to John Lanier. They moved to Tuskegee, Alabama, where they had 11 children. They was married 22 years with 11 children. Okay? After that, mother, she had to take care of herself, more or less. She didn't have a mother, nobody to teach her what she knew. It was just an instinct from her, and the reason why she could say all these things, because she experienced them. You can't say nothing that you never experienced.
Boom.
So mother experienced these things. That's why she was able to talk about it. The darkest hours just before night, the horses before the horse, the buggy. She looked at that. She saw that. All those things came from her. And the spiritual that she had within her. And she didn't have a mother like that. And her sister was very mean to her. She gave me the whole story. And she had a lot of long hair. And her sister would snatch on her hair, and when she would frown, she would pop aside the head with this comb. And she had quite a few things that she had to go through with. So that's what I want to know. And why everybody that's in here, Lanier, 15, everybody in here comes from Lula and John Lanier. That should be a big applause.
Now that's that. The next thing, this is the Whopper. Maybe you don't, maybe you know, maybe you don't. But when I was in school, I was tasked in junior high to do a family tree thing, and I chose my mother's side because y'all may know I don't know the daddy side. So I interviewed the matriarch. I interviewed Lula. She told me so many things about the Sistrunks, the Browns, Alabama, Georgia, things that I didn't know. And we got to talking about her life, her early life, just blew me away. And did you know that Grandma didn't want children?
I can't tell.
when did she decide?
She did not. I think it may have been decided for her. You know, because as you and I, Ma, we've had conversations about options over the years,
Yeah.
limited options, and and cultural mores and norms. That people, adventurous people, like Grandma wanted to be a missionary. She was a missionary. She wanted to travel. She wanted to do all those things. And it's interesting that even though she did end up having those children, all 11 of y'all, she still was able to spread God's love wherever she went. And that is how she traveled the world. Because she has grandkids in LA, she has grandkids in Germany, she's got great grandkids in Houston, everywhere. So that is how it ended up happening. So yes, she's still a missionary to this day. Thank you.
I wanted to say a couple of words about Mom, about her wisdom, which I thought was very, very phenomenal. I remember we was having a family reunion at one of the houses over on where Hammer was staying at.
Wade Park.
On Wade Park. And she was giving her a speech about, we would always ask her to give her a speech. and she was up there giving a speech, and one of the grandkids asked her, "Grandma, what's the largest word that you know?" As I looked at her, she stood there for a moment, she dropped her head. She said, "The largest word I know is love." Love go around the world. Now here's a lady, had no education, know that every part of this world where there's human beings and animals or whatever, there's love there. And that, is one of the things that stuck with me the most with her.
Hi everyone, I'm Clifford May, and Aunt Lula was my aunt, and I loved her so much. I was an only child, and I was so happy when they came here to Cleveland, because I was able to have a whole family. And I know my Aunt Lula used to get sick of me, but I'd be hanging around, and I never saw a lady with such big pots. She would cook every day. That woman could cook a pot of black-eyed peas and didn't have a lick of meat in them, and you would be eating black-eyed peas and rice. She called it hoppin' john. I had never heard of it before. And then when we would come home from school, she had a long pan. She would make tea cakes. Never heard of those either. But she would cook them tea cakes and cut them up, and she would make hot chocolate. She'd take that cocoa powder and put it in a pot and put some milk and sugar in there and stir it up, and it wouldn't be lumpy, and we'd be eating tea cakes and drinking hot chocolate. But I never complained around my Aunt Lula because she had a cure for everything. She was a voodoo doctor. If you had something in your eye, she had a button box. One of y'all youngers go get me that button box. And I'd be like, oh, she about to put a button in my eye. I already got something in my eye. Now she's about to put a button in my eye. I'd be like, okay, Aunt Lula, my eye all right. I'd be trying to blink and get some water in my eye to make it come out. And Aunt Lula said, "Come here, gal." And she had that voice, and she would maul your head. Get over here right now. And like my other cousin say, if she pinched you, oh my God, you better not say a word. And I don't know which was worse, the pinching or the mauling, because I'm going to maul your head. I'm going to maul your head right now. And get over here. And nobody talked back. And Aunt Lula loved to can. That woman would can anything. And in the summertime, y'all thought y'all had it good. Y'all running around here playing with y'all Xboxes and all of that. We ain't had no Xbox. You in there peeling pears and apples and peaches and everything. And she had that pot on there, and she be canning that stuff, and none of it spoiled. And then she had a big pantry. She put that stuff in there, and she be like, we ain't gonna eat this till it get cold. And I be saying, oh Lord, them peaches looking so good. And then one time she made some pickled watermelon rinds, and they were so good. I went in there and ate the whole jar and got sick. I say, I ain't gonna tell Aunt Lula because I know she got a cure for it. Because she told us don't bother it. And she used to say, another thing, she used to say, a hard head make a soft behind. And I was like, what that mean? And after I got older, I understood what it means. Yep.
Years ago.
My mother got sick, and we all met at Velma house, and they were talking about who can see about her. So, Pearl got up and said something, Elmer got up and said something. They said they got jobs, so they can't get out their work. And Velma said, well, I got a job, I really can't do it. Everybody said they couldn't do it. And they said, wait a minute, we hadn't heard from Fat. And they said, Fat, what? I said, nothing but I'm going home and see about my mom. That's it.
I have a thought that I want to leave with the family. The most important person in your life is God. The most beautiful attire that you can wear is a smile. The greatest asset you have in life is faith. The most important force that you have in life is love. And the greatest weapon that you have is prayer. So let us all remember that, and we will do well in life. And may God bless the entire Lanier family and all of you that are together here today.